Hi guys, I'm sitting here Sunday morning and just pardon all the noises in the background, whatever. I'm having my coffee. It's early, it's like 6, almost 7 a.m. here. And so let's talk about this attempt on Trump's life. Yet another, I'm starting to be like the boy who cried wolf. You really don't know what's the truth anymore because we never really got to know the truth about the last time. I mean, we could all pretty much just assume that Butler, PA was staged, right? Where's my glasses? That Butler was staged. I always felt I came on instantly and did a live that night and was like, it was totally staged, y'all. But we never really know. We didn't get to see any of the hospital evidence. If 45 even went to the hospital, all we know is that for the next week, he had like a Kotex on his ear, and then the rest of MAGA wore Kotex on their ear in solidarity, and it was all strange. It was like very culty and strange. So I was like, what the fudge? And at that time, a lot of stuff about Epstein, Katie Johnson was coming out, and of course it was right before the election, like months before. 45's poll numbers were down. Kamala was having huge attendances at her rallies with Tim Waltz, and 45 was having low attendance at his rallies. And so it was just all like, oh, of course. And then it drew a lot of fake sympathy and tried to pitch the Democrats as being evil, but the truth was it wasn't a Democrat who did it. It was a MAGA and a kid of MAGA gun owners, etc. Each time it's always been MAGA. This time they're trying to paint it as a Democrat. But the thing is, we don't know because they killed the guy. They killed the guy before we even get any evidence or trial or anything. And okay, so let's go over that. Let's go over the evidence that we do, the stuff that we do have. Again, poll numbers bad, looking bad for 45. We know that he in the past did not like to do these dinners because you get roasted, like the time when Obama roasted him before he was president. And so, you know, he didn't want to be roasted. He didn't want to have to do a speech on his own. Oops, kitty cat just knocked over her food. Okay. And so, I just find it suspicious that before he had to be roasted, because that's what happens at these dinners, this happens. Of course, nobody's going to roast him. I mean, who's going to do that? Nobody. So, and then he comes out afterwards and says, "Oh, we have to have I hate to say it, but we have to have a ballroom." A what? What in the hell do ballrooms have to do with these shootings? Coco, don't do that. What do ballrooms have to do with this? When did ballrooms become security, like bunkers? If you want a bunker, build a bunker. Oh, there's one under the White House right now. Okay, do that. Use that. A ballroom is huge. It has lots of doors. It has lots of windows. It's a big open space. That's worse for security. That's not what you want. The ballroom is not. When did I miss the chapter in history that talked about ballrooms? And now, so the judge said he can't have it, right? And now he's saying he has to have it. I have to have a ballroom. And so, God, it's just so great. And now MAGA's all out there on Truth Social saying, "Oh, we gotta have a ballroom." What? When did this become a thing? I just don't get it. It's like telling me that drinking Gatorade will cure cancer. When did I miss that in history? When did I miss that science? It's just stupid. It's a stupid argument. Ballrooms are not safer. They're not safer. He wants one, but that doesn't mean it's safer. Anyway, moving on from that. So that's one. Obviously, he's using it for that. It also reminds of like a partner who you say, "Well, we got to break up, things are bad between us, we got to break up." And then they have like something where their friend comes over and tries to I don't know, let's say the friend comes over and tries to steal your purse, and your partner says, "Well, you better stay with me because I saved you from that happening." The argument of we'll be safer. No, we're not going to be safer. And you're not going to be safer. America's not safer because of a ballroom, but you get what you want. You got what you wanted. It does seem like a setup. Okay, anyway. So he's sitting there with Melania, and okay, Caroline Levitt does an interview before it, and she says something like, shots will be fired. Now, I know she meant as far as being roasted, okay, and that they're going to probably roast Democrats at the thing that's supposed to be, or 45 is supposed to be roasted, right? It's supposed to be all about roasting the man of the hour, which would be 45. She hates. But she said shots will be fired. And then this reporter was interviewed on Fox News, and she said that she was sitting next to Caroline Levitt's husband, who turned to her and said, you're a great reporter. I watch you on TV. And then apparently he looked around the room and said, but you have to be really careful because something like that. And Fox News cut her off. So he was like, in the interview, he's whatever. You can go watch the interview before it disappears because you know they'll take it away. Why did they cut off the interview? I mean, she probably was just saying that he was going to tell her that there was jealous reporters or people who wouldn't want her to speak. But I just find it really suspicious that they cut her off. And then I don't know, that whole thing's suspicious. So that's conspiracy, but it is suspicious. But what's really suspicious to me is that the shooter was putting together his apparatus, his ammo, and all that stuff in a room there at the dinner, and no one stopped, just like Butler. No one stopped. Like, no one, security didn't notice. What kind of security is this? It's crazy. Then they show people just sort of randomly running around. And 45 had a smirk on his face, but he's like, they tried to get him out of there. But people stealing wine, and some guy was sitting there and he kept sitting there eating even though everybody else was running around. Oh, Erica Kay was like crying. She was crying, and not to laugh, okay, but it does just seem so, it seems like high school prom where somebody gets in a fight and everybody's running around. It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem legit. Okay, so the thing. Butler was on a Saturday. I was at work too. I was at work. Last night I was at work. Come out, read about it. Like, God. Oh boy, here goes the fake sympathy. That was Butler, PA. That was Saturday night, months before the election. This is months before midterms. 45's poll numbers are way down. The war has made him look, the economy, everything's made him look really bad. Just, if you ask me as a psychic, do I think it was staged? Yeah, I do. I think that people knew about it beforehand. And I think there's a lot of bad acting. Do I think some elements were real? Well, I think what was real is some people didn't know. Like, I don't think that Melania knew. And I don't know. I feel like it was staged. I do. I feel it was staged. But having said that, there are people that don't like him. There's Iran and many countries and people who don't like him, and a lot of people here in America who don't like them. But the thing about it being pitched on a Democrat that really bugs me is that we don't do that. Because we don't want to be the crazy, violent, because that's what they say we are, but we're not. It's always some crazy MAGA with guns everywhere. We're not the ones who do that. What we want is we want laws. What we wanted was for our vote to count and for him to not be in office. So we didn't have to go through all this. We're not violent. They're the ones, I'm sorry, he's the one that was threatening to kill all of us 2 weeks ago. Like, literally wipe off the planet. So when they tried to pitch it on Democrats, it's like, no, we tried to prevent all of this peacefully with laws and also not letting him be in office by voting. But he wouldn't recognize our vote, and Coco's scratching me. It's so annoying. I really don't think it was a Democrat. I really don't think it was a real thing. And apparently there wasn't even shots in the event. It was Okay, so they said they shot the guy, but then they showed a picture of him face down on carpet, alive, as they handcuff him. So which is it, alive or dead? What, I mean, that's the thing about all of this. It's very strange. It's very manipulated and seems premeditated. As far as fake, it's fake. I really feel it was fake. I don't feel it was real, but I'm obviously, I'm okay with being wrong. You guys let me know what you feel. I just think that it's their playbook. I'm getting that word a lot. It's their playbook. This is what they do. And it's kind of, I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting sick of it. It's the boy who cried wolf. Even if it was real, why would we believe it? I just don't. I'm having a lot of trouble believing that it was real. I really don't think it was real. I don't. We'll see how it plays out this week and how he uses it. Here's the thing. Let's say the court say, okay, we'll give you your ballroom because you almost were, someone almost shot you. We'll give you a ballroom. How does a billions and billions of dollars of a ballroom, how does that keep him safe? It doesn't. Because even, are you going to hold all the events in a ballroom? No. If there's an attempt, you run to a if there's a tornado, should I run to a ballroom? Ballrooms are not the security place that they're trying to make it sound like. It's a freaking ballroom. A bunker is a bunker, and there's already one at the White House. He can use that. Just thinking out loud. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great day. Bye.